All right, let's talk about mastering your mornings. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most common, yet completely misunderstood hurdles out there. That heavy feeling you get when you wake up. We're going to crack the code on the hidden architecture of your sleep. You know the feeling, right? The alarm goes off, you've technically been asleep for a full night, but you feel heavy, groggy, like you're wading through concrete. It's that mental fog that just refuses to burn off. And I want to get one thing straight right off the bat. That feeling has nothing to do with being lazy or undisciplined. It's not a personal failure. You are literally running into a very real biological hurdle, and it's one we can definitely learn how to get around. And that hurdle, well, it has a name: sleep inertia. It's the official scientific term for that awful slow motion crawl from being asleep to being awake. You can think of it as a kind of system error, a biological glitch that happens when your alarm clock rips you out of sleep. Now this is the key that changes the entire game. Your brain isn't just running a timer. It honestly doesn't care if you've been in bed for 8 or 9 hours. What it is paying incredibly close attention to is the number of sleep cycles you've actually completed. And the magic number here, the core unit of measurement for your brain's entire recovery process, is 90 minutes. Everything we're about to unlock is built on this single, super powerful 90-minute block of time. So what's actually happening inside each of these cycles? I mean, you're not just out cold. You're actually moving through distinct stages, from light sleep into deep sleep, which is for physical repair, and then into REM sleep. And that's where your brain does all the heavy lifting, processing memories and sorting things out. And that is why waking up at the wrong moment feels so terrible. If your alarm yanks you out of deep sleep or REM sleep, it's basically the same as pulling the plug on your computer while it's in the middle of a critical update. The whole system has to do this messy, abrupt restart, and that's where that all-day brain fog comes from. And of course, there are saboteurs that make this so much worse. The usual suspects: blue light from our screens, that afternoon cup of coffee, or just plain old stress. These things can fragment your sleep, meaning your brain never even gets to complete those vital cycles in the first place. I love this analogy. Think of each completed sleep cycle like pouring a concrete foundation. If you interrupt the process, if you pull the supports away too early, the whole structure is going to be weak. But if you let it finish setting, you end up with something incredibly strong. And this just lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got fragmented sleep, which leaves you with a corrupted, weak foundation, and that leads directly to mental fog. But on the other side, completed cycles give you that strong, stable base you need for total mental clarity. So how do we actually build that strong foundation every single night? Well, the solution, in theory, is beautifully simple. You just have to line up your wake-up time with the natural end of one of those 90-minute cycles. And here's how you do it in the real world. It's called the 90-minute rule. So forget the vague idea of 8 hours. Instead, you plan your sleep in these exact blocks. 5 cycles gets you a perfect 7.5 hours. 4 cycles is a solid 6 hours. The trick is to just work backward from when you need to wake up. See, this isn't just some clever life hack. This is actual biological optimization. You're finally working with your brain's natural rhythm instead of constantly fighting against it. And the result? You wake up feeling fresh, sharp, and honestly, mentally unstoppable. This all really comes down to a fundamental shift in your thinking. Sleep is not a lazy habit. It's not wasted time. It is your #1 primary performance recovery mode. It's the active process that gets your mind ready for whatever comes next. So when you start following this rule, you're doing something way more profound than just waking up. You are strategically activating your mind, making sure that it's ready to fire on all cylinders from the absolute moment you open your eyes. So I'll leave you with this question. Every single night, you're laying a foundation for the next day. The only thing you have to ask yourself is this: is what you're building a skyscraper, or is it a ruin? The choice is always yours.